Congratulations to everybody. It's a real honor for me to present this to Lin. I can remember the first time I met Lin. I knew she arrived, and Chin Wen and I think Singh picked her up. And we were going to practice, and they were going to bring her to practice. And she was polite, she was quiet. The polite continued in her career, the quiet did not. Lin has a sense of humor. It's a very witty sense of humor, it's enjoyable. And at times I think that sense of humor was something that helped people around her also just get a little bit better at that particular moment. The other thing about Lin, I remember when Lin came into the Lord. That was an incredible time, moment. We had a number of those, and those of you who were here when Lin was here, you'll remember some of those times. It changed Lin. I could tell. It didn't change her as a player. She was very gifted, but it changed her as a person, and it changed her for the better. Now, with that said, there's a definition that I like about leadership. Leadership is very simply behavior that influences. It's very simple, behavior that influences. Okay? There's no question Lin was a very special volleyball player. Barcelona Olympian. In fact, I mean, this is dumb, but when I heard, because Singh kept telling me, you know, I have a friend. That was the line I always heard. I have a friend. She's really good. And so I said, well, I need to see tape on her. What I saw was Chinese television tape for the Barcelona Olympics. Lin Gao starting left side and playing Cuba. Probably could play for us. Figured out a way to make it work. That's coaching right there, I'll tell you. Well, let's fast forward. Let me just, Lin came here in 1999. We were fortunate enough that we hosted national championships that year, and we were fortunate enough to play the national championship match here in this very gym. What was interesting is that we played Columbia College, who just had a long legacy of Chinese players. And our Chinese knew their Chinese, and they were friends and things like this. And I remember Lin's a freshman, that doesn't matter. She was not sure, very freshman. But she also, we thought, you know what, we're looking at matchups. We put Lin in front of the Colombian Chinese player. And I was telling Kelly, Winter today, that there maybe, if you just sort of took that little subset of volleyball that occurred for about 2 hours, that might have been almost the finest volleyball ever played in this gym. When Lin Gao was matched up on Deng Yang. Unbelievable. Well, Lin didn't win the championship that year. Something that was denied her, and she had told me a few times that she had really never won a championship, and it was hard to believe. With that said, fast forward to 2003. We're fortunate enough again to be playing for the national title. Lin had a rare ability to elevate people around her. And it was a moment, we were at pregame meal. And I noticed Lin was unusually quiet. Being a coach, I'm kind of reading that a little bit. And I thought, yeah, it's probably okay. I also, in the pregame talk, give you some insight into Lin. She's trying to make deals with me. If we win the national championship, this is December, just before finals week. Maybe if we win the national title, we won't have to take our finals. I didn't agree to that. I couldn't agree to that. But I remember we were playing very, very well. We went up 2-0. And we're playing Columbia, of all people. Okay? And Columbia got hot, and they took set 3, so we're now up 2-1, but we've lost the momentum. And of course, everyone's concerned. behavior that influences. We did our usual thing, talked about matchups, whatever, went back out. Lin is a person with few words, quiet, intense, focused. And I look out just before the fourth set's going to start, and uncharacteristically, Lin has the whole team together. And I can see her hands. I can't hear what's going on, but I can see her hands. She's going just like this, and she is telling them whatever. To this day, I'm not exactly sure what she was saying, but they got the message, and set 4 was close for a while. And then all of a sudden, it was over, and we went on out. I don't know what it was. Todd, what was it? 10-1, run, and it was over. Here's a person who has been to the top of the mountain, an Olympian for one of the greatest countries in the world. She was jumping around like a little kid. And she was named the most outstanding player. She told me later and this a few days later, she told me later that was one of the most meaningful and important things that's ever happened in her life. It didn't make sense to me. Here's a person who has been to the top of the mountain in her sport. Well, Lin, you influenced a lot of people, always for the better. Selfishly speaking, you made me look like a better coach than I probably was, because you were so good. You have represented your country well. You have represented your teammates, this university, very, very well, with distinction. Would the family and friends of Lin Gao please stand for the reading of her Hall of Fame citation? An icon in her native China, Lin Gao played at the highest level of volleyball, representing her homeland in the 1992 Barcelona Olympic Games before coming to FPU in 1999. Despite having to adjust to a completely new culture and language, Gao embraced the Sunbirds system and her American teammates. What resulted was nothing short of exceptional. A 4-time NAI first-team All-American and 2-time GSAC Player of the Year, Gao is among FPU's all-time leaders in nearly every statistical category. She capped off her career by earning NAI National Tournament MVP honors in 2003 while leading the school to its second ever national title. In 1999, her first year with the team, she had 27 matches of double-figure kills and digs, leading the Sunbirds with 530 kills and a 400 attack percentage as his team finished the NAI National runner-up. After a redshirt season, she came back as a sophomore in 2001 to lead the team to a 35-4 record and an NAI National Final Four appearance. That year, she led the team with 468 kills, 469 digs, while posting 38 solo blocks, third best in single-season FPU history. As a junior, she smashed 502 kills and had 464 digs, while leading Sunbirds to an incredible 41-2 record and a perfect 20-0 run through the always tough GSAC schedule, and another NAI National Final Four appearance. In 2003, her senior year, Gao and the Sunbirds would capture the national championship that had eluded them for the first 3 years of her career. Once again, leading the team in kills and digs, Gao helped the Sunbirds finish 42-2 and defeat Columbia 3-1 to win the 2003 national championship. To this day, she is Fresno Pacific's all-time leader in kills with 1,963 and attempts with 4,378, and a second all-time in digs with 1,922. For 490 careers, in 490 career sets, which is 4th all-time, Gao had more than 100 matches with double-figure kills. Her career 375 attack percentage ranks 7th all-time, as does her career of 4.01 kills per set. Her career average of 3.92 digs per set is 5th in the Sunbirds' history. It's with great respect and admiration that we bestow upon you Lin Gao, Fresno Pacific University's highest athletic honor, induction into the Fresno Pacific Athletics Hall of Fame in the student athlete category. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dennis. You remember all thinking about me. First of all, I want to thank the Fresno Pacific community for the award. So this is my honor to be a member of Fresno Pacific Athletic Hall of Fame. I want to take a moment to thank those people who helped me to make this event happen, especially my coach, Dennis Janzen, my pastor and professor, Dr. Owen, and my godparents, Larry and Lana, and my best friend, Megan. When I decided to come to Fresno Pacific, I set up two goals. One was to graduate from the school, and the other one was to help the school to win a national championship. I still clearly remember when I came to Fresno Pacific. I didn't speak English at all, and faced a new environment with a different culture. Everything wasn't like what I expected. I was struggled of continuing studying and playing at Fresno Pacific. Because of this, with lots of loves, caring, encouragement, I'm standing here and achieve my goals. I want to personally thank my coach, Dennis Janzen. He's such a great coach. He's very intense and has a passion for what he does. I feel very comfortable and secure around him. No matter what happened to me, he always stepped up and helped me to get things resolved. I still remember when I first come to Fresno Pacific. Because of the different culture, I feel it was very hard for me to get into the team. Let me talk about bad thing about me. So whatever they ask me to do, I always feel like they ask too much. Because when I was in China, I was kind of like the oldest player in the team, and kind of like a half coach, assistant coach, and half players. So I can do whatever I want, but not here. So talking in practice and games, it to me is not necessary, as long as I can play games well. We had a few times of conflict that made me feel I was isolated. I told Dennis that I want to quit, like go back to China. And then after that, we had a long talk, and he explained and helped me to understand more about the system of the team in college here. So he's the one who made me to overcome the barriers of the different culture. I'm so lucky of having a coach like Dennis Janzen. I want to thank Dennis. Thank you for everything you did for me. Thank you. I also want to thank my best friend Megan, her Chinese name is Gexin, who brought me here. So we know each other when we were in China. We played for a team for years. As I mentioned earlier, I had difficult time to communicate with the coach team. So she was the one who was in between. So she always tried to translate my words when I came here. So she was like my coach and friend and translator. So she always tried to translate my word and the coaches nicely. She's younger than me, but she has been taking care of me as an older sister. She always shows up whenever I need her. As a friend, sister, I deeply appreciate what you have done for me. Thank you. Finally, I want to take this opportunity to apologize to those who played with me and volleyball field more than I did. If I could go back in time, the thing I would change about my experience would be my attitude. Being a stranger in a foreign country, our cultural differences separate us. Yet, through the years of playing together, those differences dissolved and make us more a family. I guess that's all I want to say tonight.